Hello everyone, I am Pankaj Kumar. In this video we are going to talk about the flower and its parts with majorly explanation about the male part of flower. So here is a flower. In a flower there are two portions, first reproductive and second accessory parts. In reproductive part, let's see this feathery platform is called stigma and this tube-like structure is called style and this oval structure is called ovary, contain ovules. These three parts combine to form carpel. Multiple number of carpels or group of carpel is known as gynoecium. And this is female part of flower. Now the anther part. This red color portion is known as anther, which is attached to a long tube-like structure known as filament. This anther and filament collectively form stamen, and a group of stamen is called androecium, and this is a male part of flower. Now the second portion, accessory part of flower. The colored floral leaves of flower is called petals. Petals have different colors, shapes, sizes according to their species. A group of petals is known as corolla. The green colored portion below the petals called sepals. These sepals present on floral bud as covering. Later on they grow in a flower and form sepals. Now the group of sepals is called calyx. The whole apparatus, accessory and reproductive part present on the thalamus, and the flower stick by which the floral attached to the branches or axis is called pedicle or a stalk. Let's talk about the male part of flower. Now this is a male part of flower which we call a stamen. It is a male reproductive unit of flower and consists two parts, anther and filament. So this is a bulb-like structure is called anther. Production of pollen grains occur in this. Now this thread or tube-like structure is called filament. It is a long, slender stalk. It provides height to the anther. Also, it have a third portion called connective. It connects the filament to the anther. So, now the question arises, how anther produces the pollen grains? For this production of pollen grains, anther should mature fast. Now focus on the anther part. When we zoom anther and cut it transversely like this, we can see this structure. Zooming in its transverse section, we can see the connective tissue clearly. Now, each anther is bilobed, means anther composed of two anther sac or loops separated by connective tissue. So, this one is first lobe and second lobe. Each lobe of anther consists two theca. That's why it's also called diathecous. Say in this diagram. Each theca is also known as microsporangium, which develops into pollen sac like this. Mature microsporangium or pollen sac is surrounded by four wall layer. Now focus on the theca. Theca is also called microsporangium. This theca or anther is immature or undifferentiated till now. For maturation, undifferentiated theca cells produces two types of cells. First epidermal cells, second archosporial cells. Epidermal cells produces only epidermal cells types, but archosporial cells produces two types of cells. First parietal cells, second sporogenous cells. Sporogenous cells produces only sporogenous tissue and parietal cells produces three types of cells. First endothecium, second middle layer and third tapetum. These all four layers, epidermis, endothecium, middle layer and tapetum, cover the sporogenous cells or tissue. Initial three layers provide protection and tapetum provide nourishment to the sporogenous tissue. Also, it have dense cytoplasm with multinucleases. After this whole process, theca matures and developed into pollen sac. Now focusing on sporogenous cells or tissue. So as we already discussed about the layers of theca, in the center of theca there is a sporogenous cells which is also called microspore mother cell or MMC. Let's take a MMC, microspore mother cell, or PMC, pollen mother cells, or meiocyte. Meiocyte means cells which go under the meiosis. So in meiosis first cell divide to form microspore dyad which go under the meiosis second and form microspore tetrad. These four microspores separated and form four different pollen grains or separated pollen grains. Now these pollen grains are enough mature to release from the anther and do pollination. So now take a look on anther dehiscence. In this process, anther dehydrates and broke up, then releases pollen grains. So this one is our anther having sporogenous cells and showing line of dehiscence or stomium, from where anther dehydrate and break up to release pollen grains like this. Sporogenous cells convert into pollen grains and released from the anther for pollination. Hope you like this video. Thank you for watching. I am Pankaj Kumar. Have a great day.